So we're going to work on a hip strengthening set from a 90-90. So I've attached a band to an anchor point here. I'd start with a medium band and then just progress up from there. So we're going to take the left leg, start with the left leg, and I'm going to loop my foot inside the band and then bring that leg behind me into a 90-90. You want to make sure there's a relative amount of strength in the band here, but not too strong where it's actively able to pull that leg forward. So I want the knee on the same line as the hip and the foot on the same line as the knee. I've got my front leg in a 90-90, but you can have an open 90. You can bring that foot in a bit closer, however you want that front leg. So we're going to start with, you're going to place your hand on your hip or on your pelvis, and we're going to start with externally rotating this back leg. So this is going to be a 2-minute set. So you can set a timer just to time through for 2 minutes, and each set is going to be 30 seconds. So we're going to have 4 exercises, 30 seconds each one. So the first one is you're going to place the hand on your pelvis face forward, and we're going to lift the knee up and then place it down. And what we're looking for here is the femur bone to move inside the hip socket, but not the pelvis actually moving as well. So we're looking for external rotation of the hip by bringing that femur bone up as high as you can without the pelvis moving. And the hand's there just to gauge a bit of feedback to see what's going on here. Squeeze at the top and then lower. And then I'm going to lift, squeeze, and lower. Lift, squeeze, and lower. So you're going to do that first for 30 seconds. After that, we're going to go straight into the same thing, but we're going to make it bigger. So now I am using my pelvis and making this as big as I can, still facing forward, and then lower. Again, a nice amount of control. Lift, really squeeze at the top, fight for more height, and lower. If the band tries to pull your leg forward, just readjust and just use the foot as a bit of an anchor point to hold it in place. So we're going to lift, squeeze, using that pelvis as big as I can, and lower. So we do that for 30 seconds, straight from one into the other. Then for the next 30 seconds, we're going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to add a bit of spinal rotation as well. So I'm going to open as big as I can, but then rotate and look behind me. Try not to let this leg lift off too much because we want to just try and keep the work in this hip only. So we're going to lift, rotate, and take that back. Lift, squeeze, really use this leg to pull that band back as much as I rotate, and lower. Again, nice amount of tension. Lift, squeeze, and return. So that's your third exercise. Exercise number 4, we're just going to readjust. Again, we're going to try and go straight in from one to the other. I'm going to lift the back foot. So now I'm doing internal rotation of the hip. So I'm going to lift, squeeze, and I should feel the same stuff here, and lower. Lift as high as I can, squeeze, and lower. Lift, squeeze, and lower. If it's hard to get a lift off here, you can come slightly over into the opposite side. So if I'm using my left hip, I can just lean over to the right a little bit more and maybe slightly forward. That might allow you to get a bit of a lift off here. The key is not to make this one too easy. So I want to try and stay as upright as I can, and ideally obtain a smaller lift off, but able to feel more stuff happening here in the hip, rather than being over here and getting a lift off and not really feeling hip, feeling more kind of superficial tissue here. So we want to try, if you can, stay close to that hip. Squeeze at the top, always fight for more height at the top, and lower. Okay, so that's your 4 exercises, 2-minute round. If you can go for round 2, you can go straight into round 2, and then we change to the other side.